right, dude, you guys are ready.
Yep.
So we're here with Nick from Fight Gravity Fitness. Yep. So thank you, Nick, for having us here today. Yep. I want to hear about what got you into fitness. What's your story? How'd you become a fit person?
Okay. Well, back in high school, I was kind of a three-sport athlete. I played sports quite a bit, and I was aspiring to play football in college, actually, and I had a few offers, but I broke my back at the time. So I kind of got out of that and decided to go to a bigger university. Kind of struggled with my weight through college, eating a little too much. I fluctuated quite a bit between gaining weight and losing weight. The freshman 15 and then some, a little bit more as well. And so I just, I kind of struggled with my weight quite a bit when I lived in the Midwest. And I moved to Colorado about 8 years ago. I had to do an internship with the city and county of Denver. Had a lot of free time back then. That's when the economy crashed. And so I was, waiting tables and working for the city part-time. I started working out in the weight room quite a bit. Lost 30, 40 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. My supervisor took note of that, and people were asking me for tips in the weight room and different things like that. And about 7 years ago, I started teaching my first fitness class in the city and county of Denver, and worked my way up. Started doing more and more classes. Got on more certifications. Started personal training for them. Got my experience there, and then kind of moved into the Colorado Athletic Club, the bigger box gym scene.
Right.
Stayed there for a couple years as well. And just kind of took everything I learned from training and formulated my own idea of what I wanted to do with Fight Gravity Fitness in my business. And I started that a little less than 3 years ago as well. So that's kind of where I came from.
So Fight Gravity Fitness, what does that mean? Why did you choose that?
Well, at the time, 2.5 years ago, so that's when the CrossFit fad was going around pretty big.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends were getting hurt in the gym, slipping discs, banging up knees, ripping rotator cuffs out. I was at the Colorado Athletic Club at the time when I came out of there, and I got really big into the deadlifts, the Olympic lifts, and lifting heavy. And I think there's this perception, especially as a male, that we need to, bulk up and lift big weights. And the more I kind of started studying the body and why we did things, sport-specific training, essentially functional training, for snowboarding and things like that, it was like, do I really need to throw 200-300 pounds over your head for that sport?
Right.
So just the years of experience and kind of breaking down and studying the body, I'm like, train smarter, not harder, essentially.
Okay.
It's kind of how so Fight Gravity Fitness came around with, I got big into TRX at the time, a lot of functional body weight training, utilizing bands, med balls, TRX, Bozus, things like that. And the name kind of sprung up from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm in your space here, and you talk about being into deadlifts and Olympic lifts and what have you. You don't have anything more than 25 pounds here.
Right.
Why?
Again, functional training, and it's about repetitions and, now sport-specific and functional training in that realm, if somebody comes to me and they want to do bodybuilding and put on extreme mass, that's not for me, and I can push them to somebody that will do that as well. But, when you really break it down, I think it's quality and reps and it's form,
Yeah.
And when you get to heavy weight, the form is usually compromised with that. And so, in my opinion, finding a mid-road, in consistency, consistency in your weight, consistency in your reps,
right.
And thinking about that smartly.
So as far as you talk about sports training and athletic training, what type of athletes do you typically work with? What kind of sports are they into?
It just varies. I've trained tennis players, hockey players, a lot of ski and snowboarding with Colorado as well. And then I all rounds as well. Anybody that's looking for fat loss, core toning, strengthening, injury rehab, you name it, it's all over the board. I can pretty much cover those bases, and I've had experience in that. Outside of your, wanting to do your Olympic lifts and gain a lot of mass, that's just not our specialty.
Well, when you're talking to athletes, like if they're a runner, if they're a skier, if they ride a bike, whatever it is, they tend to just get into that groove,
right.
And that's all they do.
For sure.
Why should they be doing a balance of strength and cardio, their regular sport?
The benefits of weight training are, immense. Those are all pretty much cardio things that you touch base on, which, in a cardiac capacity and a respiratory capacity, those are good things. But, strength training, you definitely need that for bone density, overall lean muscle mass to boost your metabolism as well. And so I think a lot of those, you're right, a lot of the athletes are just runners, and they don't realize that by hip strengthening, and training on the lateral plane and different things like that, you can maximize your running potential and your running times. And I see it all the time where runners come in, and they've never trained laterally. We do a lot of side lunges, lateral band lunges, a lot of hip strengthening things, and they boost their times up in the running as well. So I think a good balance, I preach balance in a lot of things, balance in diet, balance in working out and everything. So a little bit of running, a little bit of strength training, a little bit of yoga, that's kind of my realm right there, balance it out.
Okay. So as far as, you were overweight.
Yes.
And you started, your journey back to getting into fit.
Mm-hmm.
Once you got on that journey, did you just stay on it? Did you ever bounce off it?
Well, I mean, I think, and that's life. We all fluctuate. You fluctuate in everything. Relationships have good days and bad days.
Yeah.
Fitness has good days and bad days. And nutrition has good days and bad days. And I think that's the biggest thing I want to preach to people is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
None of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. And a lot of my clients know about my struggles as well too, because do I crave bad food that I used to eat a lot? You better believe it,
Yeah.
But, we have those conversations as a real person because, when you've lived on both sides of the coin, you won't go back, And it's like, I've had some bad days, I've had some bad weeks, but I always find my way back on track, And I think once you kind of get that mindset, it's all about the mindset. So if you get consistency in your working out, you can get consistency in your food, yeah, you may revert here and there, but you're going to find that consistent road, and that's the same way to kind of approach your fitness as well. Don't go in and overdo it going 100 mile an hour because you're going to break down. If you redline your car every day, it's going to blow up, But if you just find a consistent mid-road with everything, I think you're better off for longevity. We're not going to get any younger. We're only getting older, So train smarter, not harder.
Okay. What about, like, for you, when you have someone who comes in, and I think the beginning of that journey is probably the hardest, right? Because you're changing bad habits that are hard programmed.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get them through that initial stage, which is probably the most challenging?
I mean, you got to find somebody's why.
Mm-hmm.
What's your why? Why'd you come in? And everybody's why is somewhat different. And so I think when you can find the why, you can kind of hammer on that. And it's about empowering people.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it and baby stepping it up. Don't information overload. Don't come in and we're going to do 100 burpees today. Our initial sessions are to kind of initially find out where you stand.
Okay.
And I'm going to take from where you stand, and I'm going to slowly build on that and empower you. Because if I bring in somebody that's like a skill level 2 out of 10, say, and I have them do 20 burpees and they don't get through it, I mean that's going to discourage them. And so it's a matter of taking somebody's starting point and kind of building on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the same realm as like life decisions and food and different things like that.
Right.
We do food journals with all the clients. I don't want to weigh food. I don't want to count calories. I want to see that you're eating good, clean, natural food, spaced out throughout the day. Again, take the approach of how you're going to do it in everyday life.
Right.
I think you just see so many sways of like, I'm going to work out for 3 months and I'm going to track MyFitnessPal and track my calories, and then that gets monotonous, and then you go back to the old way. And so try to approach things like you're going to do them realistically. And just go with that, Find that mid-road, as I said. Find the balance, If you were good all week, go out and have a steak on Friday night. That's life, enjoy it. Go have a glass of wine with your steak, And then Saturday, wake up and cook, spinach and eggs for breakfast. That's the balance.
Okay.
That's the balance.
What do you think is, why do people struggle to stay fit, to stay on that path you're talking about? What's the biggest struggles for them?
Misinformation, a lot of times, I think. We're dealing with the epidemic of bad food. I mean, we went from a time where we were hunter-gatherers and we had to go find our food, and it was naturally good, clean food to sustain us. And now we have an abundance of bad food. So we went from not enough food to a whole lot of food that's bad, And I think there's just a lot of gimmicks out there, a lot of, this is, do this 90-day shred, or do this, and that. Well, that's not setting somebody up for longevity success, And so I think bad food is the main thing. The other side, I think, is alcohol. I think, again, alcohol in moderation. If I go out and have a couple drinks on Friday, that's one thing. But to drink Thursday night through Sunday, you're not gonna battle those empty calories. And so, I mean, it's funny. We've turned into a socialization society where everything revolves around. If I go to the baseball game, I got to drink. If I go camping, I got to drink. If I go boating, I got to drink. And so I think finding a balance in your caloric intake and all that as well helps out.
You talked about starting out at a big box gym when you started working in the industry.
Right.
And then you did the big leap and you've gone into your own business.
Yep.
Which is a lot more risky.
Of course.
A lot of bigger chance to fail.
Sure.
Why did you do that?
Life's a risk. Life's a risk, man. Every day, you walk down the street, every day is a risk,
Yeah.
I've always kind of been a self-motivator. I've always been a go-getter, and I wasn't satisfied where I was, and so I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to, I worked a lot of jobs where I had great ideas that got shot down because, I wasn't calling the shots. And so, I think the only way to really do things your way is to do your own thing, And so that was my biggest push is to, I wanted to provide a service too where, I can work with people. And, a lot of those big box gyms, it's you either pay full price now or you're not coming, And with your own business, if somebody needs to work out payment plans or this, I'm here to help people. I'm not here to take your money and run, And I think a lot of those big box gyms and stuff, I just saw some practices I wasn't necessarily a fan of, and not a lot of teamwork. And so I was really trying to build up a brand, with some quality, and I've tried to stick to the quality of the sessions, quality and fitness,
As a customer, I can go to a big box gym and I can get everything. I can get the cardio machines, I can get the free weights, I can get, the weight machines, I can get the classes. Why would I come here instead of going to a big box gym?
Well, have you worked out before? Because I can push people a little bit harder. I think I take a holistic approach to it. We talk about nutrition, we talk about fitness. We talk about our goals, we talk about what we're training for and why we're training for it. And then the program is specifically designed for that individual. I've seen a lot of trainers that they write one program and that's no matter what age or what ability, that's the program for you. And I think the great thing about Pride Gravity Fitness and what I really try to do is I take each individual's goals, each individual's abilities, and I try to really structure the program specific to their needs. And, a lot of people go into a big box gym and they don't necessarily know what they're doing or why they're doing or how they're doing it. Not to mention the safety. A lot of it's safety. I was a manager at CAC for a little bit when I was a trainer there too, and I just seen so many people, busting their shins open on box jumps and things like that. Safety is our number one thing in here.
Okay.
And so I can ensure when somebody comes to me, safety will be our first and foremost priority. And so you can go to a big box gyms, but I don't think you get the results nor the quality that you can here.
Do you think there's a difference in people who go to a big box gym and the people who go to a place like Fight Gravity Fitness as far as their success rate of staying fit? Do you think there's a difference?
I'd like to think so, yeah, for sure. I've had a lot of success with my clients, and like I said, I think taking that holistic approach, in the nutrition and the mindset and different things like that sets people up for success because, a lot of times I think you get into a routine of why you're going, you just go to the big box gym and you don't necessarily think about what you're doing or why you're doing it. You're just I'm doing bench squat, because I've done bench squat 3 sets of 10 for the last 6 months, And so, I pride myself in varying workouts. None of my clients ever get the same workout. I have clients that I've trained for over 2 years, done over 300 workouts. They've never had the same workout.
Really?
Ever. Different workouts every single time. You better believe it.
Wow.
Maximizes results. And it's intriguing, why would I want to write the same workout and run it through 8 people a day? I want to go and, I think of the gym as like a science lab. This is my area that I can kind of come and toy with things and try new things out. And so I love, sitting down and thinking about ideas and thinking about different ways to exercise and then trying to implement them.
Right.
And some days it's like a home run. You're like, awesome. The other days you fall flat on your face. You're like, we're going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to actually do this today instead. But I think that's the beauty of it. You got to love what you do, And so when you have new things going on all the time, it's easy to stay excited. It's easy to stay passionate about what you do, And so I'm always trying to continue my education, learn new things, try new things, because, that's the beauty of it.
Right. Yeah. Going into doing business on yourself, and it's a competitive market, and here in Denver, it's very competitive.
Right.
What you do.
Sure.
What have you learned maybe lessons learned that you share with others?
Definitely, it's the hardest thing about this is trying to run a business and have that intricate relationship with your clients, and so you have to think of it as a business as well. And so there has been times when I've got burnt. People have left and not said anything, or we're supposed to pay and I never heard from them again. And so karma is one thing. And for me, I try to do the best thing always. Customer service is number one for me, and integrity is number one for me. And so, that will always win. And so if you do the right thing, it'll see itself through. And so, I don't take any shortcuts. Quality is number one, and I think that will stand above the rest.
Right. And as far as someone new to you,
Mm-hmm.
do you advise them to start out one-on-one, or do you advise them to start in the class and work?
Yeah, it kind of just depends on what they're comfortable with, as well as what their level of expertise is. How long they've been in the gym. I offer a 3 for $99 to first-time clients. It's kind of a trial, and that's really a good gauge for me to kind of figure out where we stand. And then we can, I make recommendations from there. I have some people who I've kind of pushed into, I think you're good enough to go into the group setting. And I have other clients that, we need to stick to one-on-one until our form gets a little bit better. Like I said, safety is key at number one.
Okay.
And so if I have a client whose form is, rarely off in class, I'd rather do a one-on-one thing where I kind of slow it down and keep them safe in that instance as well. I do small group training in the realm of like couples and 2 or 3 as well.
Okay.
And I've even broke those down too, to where maybe one person's ability was better than the others. And so again, it boils down to safety and quality. So if you're not getting the most out of your session that you need to, and you're not being safe, we need to go back to the drawing board.
Okay. And in here, you do TRX. I see some other things like the medicine ball, the punching bags, and so forth. How would you describe, you talk about functional fitness, but to someone who doesn't understand what that is, what are they getting, what kind of class are they going to get when they get it?
Well, they're going to get a full body workout, and we really kind of focus on high intensity intervals where you get that maximum burn. So it's going to be a lot of cardio in the first set, lift 2, 3. I'm going to keep the classes right around 40 minutes. I don't think you need to be in the gym much longer than that.
Okay.
So we're going to break down the whole body, basically, run head to toe. Do some groundwork, focus on the core, come back up, focus on all the lifts on the upper and lower body as well, and just kind of give you a quick 2 or 3 minutes to warm up in the beginning, 2 or 3 minutes to cool down in the end. We're going to go to town for 35 minutes and just get it done.
Okay. Is it a total body work? Is every class total body? Do you ever do, this class is going to be arms, this is going to be legs?
Nope. I'm going to try to structure it total body, TRX, high intensity intervals.
Okay.
And I'm really going to try to focus, and encourage people to go every other day. I think 2 or 3 a week max.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. 2 or 3. And because I want to see them doing cardio, long stints of cardio or walking in the off days as well. I think we, especially in Colorado, you overtrain. Give me 2 or 3 hard workouts a week, and then you go hiking and you go do whatever you want.
Okay.
I don't think anybody needs to go to a class every single day.
Okay.
So I'm really going to encourage that. Either come on a Monday, Wednesday, or a Tuesday, Thursday, or a Monday, Thursday, or space them out a little bit. The body needs 24 to 48 hours to rest and recover. When you break down the muscle spindles. So with the workouts that we're doing, where they are high intensity intervals covering the whole body, I think a day to rest and then come back and hit it again is going to only be more beneficial for the client.
So I don't have to come here and go to the gym every day, clock in every morning at 6 a.m. and
Nobody should.
hit the circuit.
Nobody should. I don't encourage that. I don't encourage that. I don't. Get it in and get out. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about fitness. Going for a walk is fitness. Going for a hike is fitness. Going for a jog, going for a bike ride is fitness. As long as you're being active, I think a good balance of the two. I don't get burnt out in the gym. I don't. Let me come here every day because I enjoy it. Take 2 or 3 days, get it in, and then go enjoy life, man. Okay. That's what it's about. We live in the most beautiful state there is. So get up in the mountains. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Well, Nick, thanks.
Hey,
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Scott.
Good. We're good. That was good.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Cool.
Did you feel good?
I think we're good.
Yeah.